Welcome to the Alchemy of Sex and Spirit, where sex, psychology and spirit meet. In this episode, we'll begin to explore the science of love and sex. Over 90 years ago, a French mystic said, "The day will come when after we've mastered the winds, the waves, the tides and gravity, we shall harness for God the energies of love. And on that day, for the second time in the history of the world, humankind will have discovered fire." The first time I came across those words, my heart leapt. I sensed a strong resonance with the tone of positive hope and expectation about love that the writer conveyed in his words. In the process of harnessing the energies of love, surely we would also discover more about the energies of sex and its true purpose in our lives. And on that day, for the second time in the history of the world, humankind will have discovered fire. We now live in that day to which the mystic referred. Imagine the benefits to the world and to humankind if love could be realized as an energy source. Ponder for a moment, what if love is energy as distinct from simply an emotional state? Most doctors and psychologists agree that there's a strong correlation between physical sickness and emotional states such as loneliness. And it's also well understood that anger and hatred emerge out of fear, which is the opposite polarity to love. So imagine the healing that may be contained within these energies of love, and the positive effects upon the medical profession and the health services if those energies could be used to alleviate sickness. Then consider the peace that's contained within love, and the potential saving of human lives and public spendings on prisons, arms and war if it could be harnessed. The discovery and use of this energy would bring us closer to solving some of our greatest human problems, perhaps even the mysteries of life itself. But we may well ask ourselves the question, where do we start in this quest to harness the energies of love? I've spent much of my life contemplating this challenge in many different ways, and I believe it to be our responsibility as human beings living in this particular time to explore further into this field. And whilst I realise my particular approach might not satisfy all scientific purists, my aspiration, my aim, and the purpose of this podcast is to attempt to solve the problem of whether love can be consciously realized as an energy resource and cultivated through love making. And if so, whether those energies of love can be harnessed in order to increase the quality and longevity of relationships, improve mental and emotional states, reduce physical sicknesses, and eliminate conflicts and hatred between individuals and between nations. Now, scientists, politicians, and environmentalists are united on one fundamental issue: the need for energy to sustain the world and its growing population. They aren't necessarily united in the various approaches towards harnessing energy or on the various technologies envisaged to replicate vital energy. All are agreed, however, without energy the planet will eventually die. In the light of this awareness and the scientific belief that energy is limited, the official stance is that the universe is dying. And enormous amounts of money and energy are consumed in the search partly for somewhere else to go after their inevitable decay and destruction of this planet. So we explore the visible universe, only to discover conditions unsuitable for human life to exist. We're told, as though it was a certain fact, that life exists on planet Earth thanks to a stroke of luck. We're consuming energy in a desperate attempt to discover energy sources, yet our whole scientific effort is based upon error. Science looks for energy sources outside us. Traveling to the furthest visible planets, we're following a false trail. The greatest source of energy is to be discovered and resourced within us. Every human being is a power station. This is no New Age idealism, it's a real scientific fact. The solution to the world's energy needs is literally under our nose. There are 6.5 billion energy gushers on the planet right now, and only a small fraction of them is utilized. We don't live in a dying universe. It's still but an adolescent in its formative stages of life. We're not so much short of energy as short of vision. Our energy appears limited. Why? Because our perception is limited. To discover more energy at no cost at all, we must break through the barriers of perception. As human beings, we energize planet Earth and its atmosphere. We must learn how to travel inside our own selves to discover the energy contained there. Our psyche and bodies are storehouses of energy, replenished constantly through interconnections with a hierarchical chain of energies extending to the very source of everything. The word we use to describe the stuff of existence, the cosmic source of energy, is love. It's not just an emotion, it's the source of everything. It's the father of light, the mother of consciousness. All cosmic life, including that of being human, emanates from love, and we haven't even yet begun to research and tap into its endless, inexhaustible supply. When it comes to knowledge of the human being, it is acknowledged that very little is known of the human brain, even less about consciousness, and almost nothing about love, sex, and death. What is love? Where does love actually come from? Does it harm or heal? Can it be defined or understood? Why do we long for it so much? Can this longing ever be satisfied? How and where do we find love? Why does it appear to hide from us? How do we know when we've found love? Can it be lost once it's found? Or is love indestructible? Then what is making love? What is love making? What is this strange obsession that unites us all? What is the real meaning of lovemaking? Is lovemaking designed for and confined to procreation, or does it have a lifelong purpose? And what happens to the love that we make through lovemaking? Where does it go? How do we find fulfillment in our intimate relationships? Why is there so much apparent and widespread pain in relationships that start out by promising so much fulfillment? Can a relationship in crisis be rescued? And if so, how can this be achieved? Discovering answers to these and other questions is the purpose of the alchemy of sex and spirit. I've been a spiritual teacher and counselor for over 40 years and a transpersonal sexual therapist for 30 of those years. I meet with the face of loneliness in my clients every day of my life. I've been privileged to spend most of my life working to alleviate this loneliness, the primary cause of which is fear of love and confusion around sex. Most people never really find love. They think that they have, only to be disillusioned and hurt. And then they think that love has hurt them. But they're wrong. Love itself can never hurt. It can only heal. It's the lack of love that causes pain and suffering. In fact, throughout history and throughout the world, all suffering is simply the effect of missed opportunities to love. Magical practice. If you think you've never experienced love, then you can connect with the real essence of love with this magical practice. If you've been hurt and wounded by sex, then you can be healed through it. If you've felt the pain of loss, you can be transformed through it. If you think of yourself as being unworthy of love and dissatisfied by sex, you can find fulfillment through it. And if your current relationship is in crisis, this magical practice can help you to transform it. Every day for the next 7 days, take some time to organize a private space where you can spend 5 minutes where you won't be interrupted. Sit in a comfortable chair or lay on your back on the floor or on your bed. Breathe deeply and slowly, in and out through the nose, and in and out through your belly, your stomach area, the diaphragm. When you feel relaxed with your eyes closed, cross your arms over your chest so that the palm of your right hand is on your left shoulder and the palm of your left hand is on your right shoulder. Now imagine that inside your chest there is a soft but durable, unbreakable polythene bag or container, and it's filled with a light, oil-like fluid that has no weight at all. Keep breathing slowly and deeply in and out of your nose, inhaling and exhaling from the belly. Now go back in time. Allow your mind to remember a time, ideally the earliest time in your life, where you felt love for anything or anyone. You may have been a very small child, or it may have been later in your childhood. It could even have been much more recently in your life. There will have been a person, parent, aunt or grandparent, carer or guardian that you loved. Or maybe you've never consciously felt love for a person. It may be that in your case there was a pet or a teddy bear or a doll, and the whole world seemed against you. At least you could hold that little pet, that kitten or puppy dog. You could cuddle up on your bed in a dark corner with your beloved teddy or doll, and you could express all the hurt, injustice, fear or anger that you were feeling to that pet or doll. It would simply listen and not judge you. Your pet or teddy or the precious person would accept your tears and wouldn't wipe them away. How you needed and loved those secret times together. Or maybe you've never consciously felt love even for a pet or a toy. But you may well have felt a kind of exhilaration while standing on a mountaintop or on the seashore. As you remember, notice the feeling of those moments, not the circumstances, but the feeling deep inside that polythene bag in your chest. There in the weightless oil exists the same original feeling, still there after all these years. That feeling is love, the energy of love itself. And as you simply sit or lay there, remember and feel it inside. You're connecting with the energy of love. The polythene bag in your chest is your heart energy center. And right there in this moment of recall, you're opening your heart energy center and reconnecting with love. Stay in this awareness for 5 minutes and allow this deep feeling of peace and safety to wash your mind and awaken the soul. Let that truth ripple through you. Let it charge your body, your mind, and your life. Something powerful is already stirring. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can download my ebook, The 7 Stages of Love, completely free. Just follow the link in the description or the comments section below. Until next time, take this thought away with you. Love isn't out there somewhere. Love is in you. It's who you are. Thank you for listening. I'm David Brown, and this is The Alchemy of Sex and Spirit.